If you are travelling through northern Wales for a holiday or vacation, be sure to visit the Ruthin Jail, a historical 17th century jail and correctional facility site, not to mention one of the most fascinating attractions in the area, if not the most unique. While the jail lacks the characteristic barred windows, except one, it makes up for inauthenticity of old mugshots and its centuries-old prison cells with props that are enough to send shivers down your spine. Originally, the jail was known as the House of Correction and is known to have existed as early as 1654. The building was extended several times before new legislation in 1865 raised standards again to meet those standards in 1866. Work began on the 4-story prison block. The block then held 100 prisoners from April 1878. This was the jail for Denbighshire and the neighbouring counties. In 1904 there were 81 male and 6 female inmates. One remarkable inmate was John Jones, a kleptomaniac and poacher who escaped from prison several times, including twice from Ruthin Jail. His exploits brought him fame, and he was admired as a folk hero in some quarters. After his first escape, he was tracked down and apprehended in bed at the Swan Inn. The prison closed in 1916. 10 years later, it was acquired by Denbighshire County Council. Munitions were made here in World War II. The inmates would work to earn their keep, an exercise that in theory would then reform their idle, disorderly ways. Around 1700s, the House of Correction was used more as a place for detention. As years passed, the living conditions and treatment of prisoners worsened until 1774, when acts of reform were introduced. A year later, a new building was commissioned to serve as the county's new jail, the oldest to be found on the current site. One of the prisoners who we have mentioned previously, John Jones, a kleptomaniac who spent more time in jail than out of jail during his lifetime, and is known to have done time at every single jail in North Wales, and even a few in England. He was nicknamed the Welsh Houdini. He had escaped from prisons many times when he was in Ruthin. He escaped for the second time by making a hole in the cell wall and climbed out using bedclothes tied into a rope. He was on the run for 5 days before he was shot in the leg and died soon after. His death was so welcome that it was featured in the town's newspaper. Prisoners were put to work to keep them busy. The first 2 months they would work for nothing, and later would be paid a small wage. It is widely believed that William Hughes haunts Ruthin Jail to this day. Women are prone especially to sensing his presence.